to take to give the
Just
city what it
audio.
says, the notice that we are
Just
going to bring a
audio,
claim
please.
under multiple multiple theories, and really you can kind of break them down into two things. One, it's how they could have prevented this from happening to Dorothy and her family, and two, what happened after. And I know, Eric, a lot of your work is on the preventable aspect, right? I mean, sort of the lack of a crosswalk, the lack of systems out there, the lack of any sort of identifiable area for people to cross and leave, and that's the first half of the notice plan. And the second half is unfortunately everything that the city did not do after the death.
And yeah, I was gonna say there's a few different things listed there. I know it's the city of Phoenix. I know it's the police department. If you talk a little bit about the police handling of this case and how you found that to be problematic.
Sure. So the problematic thing for us is that there's, the Dorothy's family, Beatrice family has constitutional rights to know what happened to their next of kin, to know where they took her, to know how they're going to dispose of the body, to give the family the right to make those decisions for themselves. Again, that's the after effect, and the investigation into everything that happened. We have indication that, again, this is not the first time something like this happened, and so we believe that the police department all had notice of this before. There are constitutional protections here to avoid something like this happening, and for the police department, those are, again, if we're putting these things into two different buckets, it's that second bucket. It's all the things they had to do after what happened to Dorothy that they did not do.
Beatrice, how does that work, or how does this, sit with you taking this next step in what's been, a month-long fight from your family?
Well, I appreciate the law.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay, I'm sorry. I appreciate the law office of Phillips and my attorney that I'm working with now for doing what they're doing to help our family. I feel like that accountability has to be in this. It's so atrocious. Of course, I'm going to say that. That's my sister. But it's atrocious for any family to have a loved one who was killed in the manner she was, or even dead, and we're never notified. I mean, we are still suffering from the reality of that. The fact that my sister laid in a morgue for 8 days and her address was on her Arizona identification. We did that so that if something was to happen, that we would notify so our loved one, even though she was unsheltered and homeless, she was loved and she had family, and we needed to have that information so that we could go and care for our loved one in life and in death. And it's very painful for our family, even to even get past that part of her laying in a morgue for 8 days.
And, as Nasser said, I think the notice of claim hits on a couple different points there, but to know that this was considered, a hot spot for the city of Phoenix when it comes to, collisions and accidents, and that it took several months for a crosswalk to be fully installed, how does that sit with you?
Well, I was able to go by there right before the lights came on, and there was a great feeling that perhaps this won't happen to another family, but too late for our family, too late for some other families. And as in the report, the fact that the sign was down, even after that report came out, that sign was still down. I went down there. So that to me hurt me again, because I was like, they just did a whole report on it. This sign is still down. Just like the basic stuff, it was like they weren't willing to do the basic stuff to keep people safe. That's the basic. The sign was down, put the sign up, do the little things. And so that was disheartening for me. It feels like, if you had all those areas, the human lives and the human lives of the unsheltered, really, which was in that area, and a lot of them have mental illness. So why wouldn't you take the extra steps so that they can have the extra steps, so so they can be safe.
What do you guys hope to see with this notice of claim and, potentially a lawsuit down the road?
Two things. Number one, unfortunately, in my line of practice, what we know is simple, that whenever we bring any sort of litigation, it halts and stunts the healing process for Beatrice and her entire family. And we're very cognizant of that unfortunately with ongoing litigation, ongoing claim, they're not going to be able to properly put Dorothy to rest. And so we're very sensitive of that. But this is more important because as Dorothy's family has told me multiple times, this is about prevention in the future. This is about making sure this doesn't happen to other people, and for change, right? This is a large city. This is a great city, but that we don't want this happening to other people in the future. And this is what this is about. This is not about money damages. This is not about anything. This is about changing this in the future, so you don't have to interview other families that are going to go through something like this.
And accountability.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say,
Accountability.
absolutely accountability. There has to be accountability.
And is there, I was going to say, I need to go pull it up again, but was there a monetary value associated with the notice of claim?
The notice of claim, Arizona statutes require you to put a number on the claim. And so we are demanding $10 million from the city.
Okay. Beatrice, you talked to me a little bit. You've given me some updates over the past couple of months, but what have you been doing to honor your sister's memory?
What I've been doing is really, I've been in the community with Sankofa Humanitarian Project, going out, reaching out to the unsheltered, offering them aid for the things that we can supply while they're there, taking a real interest in Perry Park because, of course, we would, because my sister, that's where she was and that's where she died, over there in that area, as well as talking to the prosecutor's office and the police department so that we can get charges for the death of my sister. And so that's really been my focus, is to make sure that someone is held accountable for my sister's death to the full extent of the law. And so that's what I've been doing, trying to get justice for my sister and accountability. Along with my family, I may be out here, but we have a very large family. Everybody is very much on the same page. They just had me come and be the spokesperson, but we have a very big family. Everybody concerned is the same. We want accountability and we want justice for our loved one.
All right. Thank you guys both. Like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Is there anything else either of you would want to add?
Just one last thing, and Erica, Beatrice and her family have been speaking to the prosecutors and the police on the ground, right? And I don't want any of this to be an indication that the folks that are working, that the folks that are trying to do this, they're very good people, and they're doing everything they can to protect us, to protect our community. These decisions are not in their hands. These are decisions that have taken years and years and years, and this is the result of that. And so that's what we're looking for here. So we just want to understand that that like Beatrice talking to the prosecutor, talking to the police, they're doing their best. Unfortunately, it's their supervisors and it's the city and it's the bureaucratic nightmare that allows a situation like this to even be there in the first place.
Okay. Well, thank you guys both. I appreciate it. And yeah, Beatrice, I know we spoke earlier too about some of your conversations, and if there is any traction there, feel free to let us know. Nasser, both Beatrice, we're going to probably do an update on this tomorrow. Yeah. I think, just on the notice of claim being served, and then obviously as things continue to develop, we're happy to keep following along with everything, so long as you guys are willing to keep sharing the details. I think it's definitely an important case to keep covering and to keep highlighting, because I think that'll chronicle how things are going, and maybe someone else will see it and say, oh, I'm in a similar situation.
Hopefully in less than a week or so we'll have the right news for our family. And I won't say good news because somebody's life is affected, even the person who did it, but the right news in this situation, which is felony manslaughter. Yes.
I mean, the work you're doing, Eric, is amazing. Truly, I mean, these are the voiceless. So we thank you, and anything we can do in the future, we're more than welcome. We're more than happy to provide it to you. So.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. Like I said, Beatrice, I know you've been texting me, so keep in touch, and I'll send a link to you, Beatrice, once we have it up. I think tomorrow is the plan, but if not tomorrow, it'll definitely be. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Thank you. You look well, Erica.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Recording stop.